Coming up on today's show, we're going to be talking about the 2026 NFL Draft for the Minnesota Vikings, and I will be giving you guys my top 5 Vikings draft targets on today's show. This is in no particular order. We'll just go through 5 guys, break them all down, and talk about their fit with the Minnesota Vikings. And one guy we have not talked about yet on the channel, but after throwing on those good old YouTube highlights, I'm starting to fall in love with this Oregon tight end, and the name is Kenyan Sadiq. This guy is absolutely unbelievable. And I think you may be saying to yourself, well, Patrick, we already have TJ Hockenson. We got Josh Oliver. What interest would this front office have in taking a tight end in round 1? Well, I think we can all call it like it is. TJ Hockenson is likely gone this offseason. His contract and his cap hit number are just way too high. The Vikings have an easy out. If they just cut him post-June 1, they can move off his contract pretty easily. And that's where a guy like Kenyan Sadiq can come into play. Or if you pair up Kenyan Sadiq, a young, athletic tight end, with a guy like Josh Oliver, I would take it. And I think you would have a lot of production in this system. Now, here in 2025, his numbers aren't going to completely blow you away. I mean, he's only got 490 yards on 40 catches, has 8 touchdowns, 12.3 yards per catch. But when you go through on his highlight tape and you just go through on his regular tape, this guy completely jumps off the screen. So I had 4 main takeaways and also his measurables at the top here. 6'3", 245 pounds. The thing I love about Sadiq, too, when you watch him, when you look at him, you're like, is he really 245? But then you kind of zoom in and see how freaking strong this guy is. It's like, oh, no, that guy's actually 245. And that was actually my last takeaway. He's strong as. But the one thing, though, he's not like a true tight end. He's not like a typical inline blocking tight end or like TJ Hawkinson's that. So like he's more of like a, hey, split you out wide, we'll throw some screens to you, kind of more in like a, he's like a shorter, more physical Colston Loveland in terms of how they're used on the football field. But I mean, Oregon will throw him bubble screens and tunnel screens like none other. And also the third line here, he loves to hurdle defenders. This guy, he's got literally 7 hurdles on his highlight tape from just this season. I have never seen anything like this. How we talk about like Van Ginkel's specialty is like jumping screens. Like his specialty is literally just jumping over guys. And also with his size, he's a solid blocker. He's got great pad leverage, mainly just because when you're 6'3", a little smaller of a tight end, still really, really strong, you can kind of get up underneath of these more rangy, not as physical defensive edges. So listen, this guy checks every box in my opinion for a tight end. So the Vikings took a risk on him, took him at pick 12 or something. Sign me up. But my number 1 draft target for the Vikings by a wide margin, and I think the best player in this draft class by a wide margin is the Ohio State safety, Caleb Downs. And Caleb Downs, number 1, he's an elite tackler. You guys should see, just go through on his tape, the amount of times where running backs trying to get on the edge, and he'll just dive at his ankles, wrap him up, and he'll fall straight on the ground. Great instincts. He's an elite culture setter. I mean, teammates and coaches at Ohio State call him an old soul, just say how he's all business. He really does feel like a pro already, and, he's just in his 3rd year of college football. He's got a physical mentality. Like, he'll go up there, he'll hit a dude in the hole. He's not scared of any contact, mainly because he is also a physical freak, so he uses that to his best ability. And also, he's an all-around football player. If he has an interception, he's trying to take that to the crib. This guy was returning punts for Alabama as a true freshman. That kind of speaks to how much of an all-around football player he is, not just a defensive safety. But, I was staying on this take. I think when this draft class is all said and done and we're looking up in, 5 years from now and we're like, all right, who's the best player in the 2026 draft class? It's going to be this dude by a wide margin. And I'll stand on that. Like, I think Jeremiah Love's great. I even like Sadiq a whole lot. Like, I like even Jordan Tyson at Arizona State. But when we're talking about who the best player is, and this guy's, honestly, I think he has a chance to be better than Kyle Hamilton, and Kyle Hamilton's an all-world safety. I think it's going to be Caleb Downs. And, his PFF grades kind of speak to that. I mean, think about being a true freshman starting at Alabama. One, how hard that is to earn that starting role. But when you do earn that starting role, to be as productive as he was. Great coverage grade, great tackling grade, great in the run defense. I mean, you guys see him up on screen. Don't need to read him out to you. This guy's just a flat-out stud. And even his coverage stats, this guy's solid. And what I love, he's gotten better year after year after year. Got picked on a little bit his freshman year at Bama. Gave up 402 yards, but the last 2 years he's been solid. Now, you also may be saying, well, Patrick, if you say Caleb Downs is so good, he's probably going to end up going top 7, top 8 in the draft. And I agree with you. I think these mock drafts and mock downs to falling out the top 10, they don't know what the hell they're doing. This guy's the best player in the draft by far. I don't care about positional value. Just draft the best player. And I think the Vikings, to trade up to get Caleb Downs, this is a move I would have a lot of interest in. You take on pick 13, which the Vikings have as we're filming this, and you pair Jordan Addison in that deal, you get the number 4 overall pick, and you draft Caleb Downs. This is a risky move. This is a bold move. But that dude is that good at Ohio State. Watch the college football playoff over the next month, and just watch number 2 out there on the football field, and you guys will be blown away. Like, literally just, and it's my favorite thing when you're looking at draft guys, you just watch one guy throughout the entire game. Just watch Caleb Downs. You're going to be blown away by him. I mean, even his highlight tape's awesome. So I would do this deal, but you guys let me know. I know it's a bold decision here. Would you accept this trade? Addison, pick 13 for pick number 4. Give me an A for accept. Give me a D for decline. You guys let me know your thoughts down below. Now, I will say, I think the Browns would have a lot of interest in this deal since, they need a true wide receiver 1. I think they would view Addison as that. So I would do it. I would do it for Caleb Downs. You guys let me know your thoughts down below. All right, we'll get to more draft targets here in a second, but today's episode is brought to you guys by PrizePicks. It is the holiday season, the best time of year for sports, bowl games, basketball and football matchups, and playoff pushes. It is all happening at once, and when you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which game to watch, there's one place where it feels good to be right, and that is PrizePicks. So download the PrizePicks app today, plug in promo code CLNS, get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's super simple to play. What we got to do is pick more or less on at least 2 players' stats. And if you get your picks right, you can cash in. So get in on the action. PrizePicks is now available in 45 states, including California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. So download the PrizePicks app today and plug in that promo code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's promo code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Shout out to PrizePicks for sponsoring today's show. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. All right, let's talk about number 3 on this list, and that's going to be Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love. Where is the love? Could it be in Minnesota? We'll see. Now, I will say, if the Vikings want to lean into J.J. McCarthy's strengths, is an obvious take. You go draft a stud running back. Now, I thought the Vikings this year, with them getting Jordan Mason, having Aaron Jones, I thought maybe the Vikings would have just leaned into the run game a whole lot more than they have. But they obviously didn't. But if you spend a top 15 pick in the NFL draft on a running back, you would hope your head coach, Kevin O'Connell, would lean into it. And I think he would. And Jeremiah Love, this guy's been unreal the last 2 seasons. His freshman year didn't get a whole lot of run as a true freshman at Notre Dame. But, last 2 years, this guy's been unbelievable. Truly unbelievable. I absolutely love his game. I didn't love the Jahmyr Gibbs comp at first, but start watching the tape, he's a more upright runner than Jahmyr Gibbs, but he does have that kind of quick twitch that Gibbs has, and he's averaging 6.9 yards per carry over the last 2 seasons. 35 touchdowns total the last 2 years. This guy is just a fantastic, fantastic prospect, but in my opinion, I think Love is the second best player in the draft. I think it goes Caleb Downs, and then it goes Jeremiah Love. Now, you take out positional value. This is how I would have it. Now, obviously, if the Vikings, for example, were drafting number 2 overall, I would not take Jeremiah Love there just because I don't think you can take a running back in the top 5. But if you could somehow get the second best player in the draft at pick number 13, I would have a lot of interest there. But number 4 on this list, we're going to be talking about Mansoor, Delane. Now, a lot of Vikings fans are already, falling in love with this guy. And I think right here, the 4 guys you see on screen right now, these are my top 4 by far. If the Vikings leave the draft with any of these 4, I'm extremely excited about this draft. And the Vikings, they're going to have to draft a corner because you only have 3 corners. Now, a little bit of this is, the Vikings cornerback room and the way they run their defense. They don't need to have 5-6 corners. Flores, we all know what he's about. He's running more safeties and hybrid linebackers than corners anyways, but it would be nice to have a guy like Mansoor Delane out on the perimeter where also Mansoor Delane, the dude loves to tackle. He's an aggressive cornerback. Now, I do think he plays some of his best ball when he's playing off coverage compared to this press man. But when this guy's asked to step up in the run game and go make a big-time play, he could just do that. So, Mansoor Delane, I would take him middle of the first round. But also, if I'm being honest, I would have PTSD of the Vikings drafting a corner. Because Kwesi, like, I mean, this dude, he just can't draft corners. He's whiffed on corners more than any other position since being the Vikings GM, but we've seen the improvement this year at LSU, a 90.9 PFF grade. All right, now my last guy. So, like I was saying, I got my big four. That's Sadiq, Downs, Love, and Delane. But number 5, I'm going to go Sonny Styles. Sonny Styles is a freak, man. He's like 6'4", 230, flies around the football field. Kind of reminds me of Tremaine Edmonds a little bit, Bears linebacker. And when you think about the Vikings roster and how they want to kind of build it out for the future, like, linebacker is a sneaky need for the Vikes. Honestly, I probably should change that up. No, linebacker is a major need for the Vikings because you're looking at this room. Yeah, you got Blake Cashman still. He's great. Eric Wilson's been awesome this year, but you have absolutely zero depth. Ivan Pace Jr., he's unplayable. Austin Keys, good special teams guy, but he's never going to get real run for the Vikings. And, like, they should bring back Eric Wilson, and I think they will. So you would still have Eric Wilson and Blake Cashman, but you're just one injury away from having absolutely no depth at that position. So I think, like, Sonny Styles, that would be the pick where the Vikings draft him. Maybe they trade back to, like, 18, 19, 20 range, and they take him, and everybody's like, why the fuck did we just take a linebacker in the first round? I think it would make a little more sense. So that's my big 5. Kenyan, Sadiq, Caleb Downs, Jeremiah Love, Mansoor, Delane, and Sonny Styles. Those are my big 5 in the draft. If you guys have a name I did not list, please drop it down below in the comments section. You guys let me know who do you want the Vikings to draft, and we'll get on out of here. As always, let's go Vikes.